while Washington and Beijing have been locked in a bitter trillion-dollar standoff over the future of the global auto industry. Something unexpected has just happened behind the scenes. America's closest ally did not escalate the fight. Instead, it quietly changed the rules of the game entirely. For years, U.S. politicians have repeated the same warning. Chinese electric vehicles are a national security threat, a rolling network of sensors and software that must be blocked at all costs. Tariffs as high as 100% were introduced to keep them out and protect domestic manufacturing. But just weeks ago, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney made a decision that sent shockwaves through Washington. Rather than following the American playbook, Canada struck a direct deal with China. The agreement allows 49,000 Chinese electric vehicles to enter the Canadian market under a dramatically reduced tariff of just 6.1%. That number alone changes everything. This is not a minor policy shift or a quiet trade adjustment. It is a fundamental break from the North American approach to the electric vehicle transition. While American consumers continue to face high prices and limited options, Canadians are about to gain access to a wave of advanced electric vehicles at prices that seem almost impossible. For the first time, the gap between what is available in the West and what is being built in China is about to become visible in everyday life. And that is exactly why the United States is reacting so strongly. Because once these vehicles hit the streets of Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, the conversation changes. It is no longer about theory, speculation, or political talking points. It becomes real. Real cars, real prices, and real comparisons that consumers can see with their own eyes. At the center of this deal is what insiders are calling a cars for crops agreement. Canada, facing heavy tariffs from China on key agricultural exports like canola, beef, and seafood, needed relief. Entire sectors of its economy were under pressure. Farmers were struggling, and trade losses were mounting. So Canada made a calculated decision. It traded limited access to its auto market in exchange for improved conditions for its agricultural exports. From Canada's perspective, this was not a betrayal. It was survival. But from Washington's point of view, it looks like a crack in a carefully constructed wall. Because the moment these vehicles arrive, a new reality begins to take shape. A reality where high-quality electric vehicles are not limited to luxury buyers. A reality where advanced technology is no longer tied to extreme pricing. And perhaps most importantly, a reality where consumers begin to question why they have been paying so much for so long. So today, we are taking a closer look at the 5 Chinese electric vehicles entering Canada under this deal. These are not concept cars or distant prototypes. These are real vehicles, ready for real buyers, and they represent a level of competition that the global auto industry has not faced in decades. Number 5. BYD Seagull. If you want to understand why this entire situation is causing so much concern, you start with the BYD Seagull. On the surface, it is a small, compact electric hatchback, but in reality, it represents something much bigger. In China, the Seagull sells for around $10,000. That number alone is enough to raise eyebrows. But once it arrives in Canada under the new trade agreement, even after tariffs and shipping costs, it is expected to land somewhere between $15,000 and $17,000. That puts it in direct competition not with new cars, but with used ones. Think about that for a moment. A brand new electric vehicle with modern technology and 0 miles, priced alongside a 10-year-old used sedan. And yet, the Seagull is not stripped down or bare bones. It includes a touchscreen infotainment system, multiple airbags, stability control, and BYD's Blade battery technology. That battery is widely recognized for its durability and safety, designed to resist overheating and long-term degradation. The range is around 250 miles, which comfortably covers the daily needs of most drivers. For commuters, students, and urban residents, it is more than enough. And that is where the real disruption begins. Because for years, automakers in the United States have argued that building affordable small cars is no longer viable. They have shifted focus toward larger, more expensive vehicles with higher profit margins. But the Seagull challenges that idea directly. It proves that affordability and quality can coexist. For a young professional in Montreal or a student in Ottawa, the Seagull is not just another option. It is a game changer. It removes one of the biggest barriers to electric vehicle adoption: cost. And from a political perspective, that is exactly what makes it so significant. Because once consumers see that this level of affordability is possible, it raises uncomfortable questions about pricing structures elsewhere. Number 4. Zeekr 7X. If the Seagull represents affordability, the Zeekr 7X represents value at the higher end of the market. This is a midsize SUV designed to compete directly with premium brands, but at a much lower price point. The performance alone is enough to turn heads. With a 0 to 60 time of just 3.8 seconds, it accelerates faster than many traditional sports cars. Yet it is still a practical family vehicle with space, comfort, and long-distance capability. Its battery delivers close to 500 miles of range, a figure that significantly reduces the need for frequent charging. For many drivers, that means fewer compromises and more flexibility in daily life. In the United States, a vehicle with these specifications would likely cost upwards of $90,000. In Canada, thanks to the new trade terms, it is expected to sell for around $45,000, but performance and price are only part of the story. The Zeekr 7X is packed with advanced technology, including LiDAR sensors, high-resolution cameras, and sophisticated driver assistance systems. These features are designed to improve safety and enable semi-autonomous driving capabilities. However, they are also at the center of the controversy. Critics argue that these systems could potentially collect and transmit sensitive data, raising concerns about privacy and security. Supporters counter that modern vehicles and smartphones already gather similar data, and the benefits of these technologies should not be ignored. Inside the vehicle, the focus shifts to comfort and luxury. High-quality materials, immersive sound systems, and large digital displays create an environment that feels far more expensive than the price suggests. Features like adaptive glass roofs and seamless software updates add to the sense that this is a product built for the future. For Canadian consumers, the appeal is straightforward: more features, better performance, and lower cost. For competitors, it is a serious challenge. Number 3. Xiaomi SU7. The Xiaomi SU7 represents a different kind of disruption. It comes not from a traditional automaker, but from a technology company. And that difference is immediately noticeable. At its core, the SU7 is designed as a connected device as much as a vehicle. It runs on Xiaomi's HyperOS, allowing it to integrate seamlessly with smartphones, smart home systems, and other digital devices. The transition between home, phone, and car becomes nearly invisible. Imagine leaving your house and having your car automatically sync your apps, navigation, and preferences. Imagine controlling your home devices directly from your dashboard. This level of integration transforms the driving experience into something closer to a digital ecosystem. But the SU7 is not just about software. Its performance is equally impressive. With over 600 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time under 3 seconds, it delivers sports car-level acceleration. Its fast charging capabilities allow it to gain hundreds of miles of range in a short amount of time. And yet, it is expected to sell for around $35,000. That dollar's combination of performance, technology, and price is what makes it so disruptive. It challenges the idea that advanced features must come at a premium. For traditional automakers, the SU7 represents a new type of competitor. Not just another car company, but a tech-driven organization that approaches vehicles as platforms for innovation. Number 2. Li Auto L9. The Li Auto L9 takes a different approach. Instead of focusing purely on performance or affordability, it focuses on comfort, range, and overall experience. This is a large SUV designed for families, but it introduces a unique concept: range extension. While it operates primarily as an electric vehicle, it includes a small gasoline generator that charges the battery when needed. This eliminates range anxiety and allows for extremely long trips without frequent stops. With a total range exceeding 800 miles, it offers a level of convenience that few electric vehicles can match. Inside, the L9 is designed to feel like a living space. Every seat includes heating, cooling, and massage functions. The second row features reclining chairs that provide a level of comfort rarely seen in vehicles. There are multiple screens throughout the cabin, allowing passengers to watch content, control settings, and interact with the vehicle in new ways. Storage compartments can keep food warm or drinks cold, adding another layer of practicality. In China, the L9 sells for around $60,000. In Canada, it is expected to reach approximately $75,000. Comparable luxury SUVs in other markets often cost significantly more. The result is a vehicle that brings high-end features to a broader audience. It challenges the traditional definition of luxury by making it more accessible. Number 1. Yangwang U9. At the top of the list is the Yangwang U9, a vehicle that pushes the boundaries of performance and technology. This is not just a car. It is a showcase of what is possible when advanced engineering meets ambitious design. With 4 independent electric motors, it delivers exceptional power and control. Each wheel can be managed individually, allowing for precise handling and unique capabilities. The U9 is capable of extraordinary performance, competing with some of the fastest vehicles in the world. But beyond speed, it introduces features that seem almost futuristic. Advanced suspension systems allow it to adapt dynamically to different conditions, improving stability and comfort. This level of innovation highlights a broader shift in the industry. Vehicles are no longer defined solely by engines and mechanical components. They are increasingly shaped by software, computing power, and integrated systems. And that is where the deeper concerns emerge. As vehicles become more connected, questions about data, security, and control become more important. Governments are beginning to grapple with these issues, trying to balance innovation with protection. At the same time, there is an economic reality that cannot be ignored. The price difference between Chinese and Western electric vehicles continues to grow. By the end of 2026, Chinese EVs in Canada are expected to average around $28,000, while US EVs remain much higher. For consumers, the decision is not ideological. It is practical. It is about affordability, features, and value. Canada's decision reflects that reality. It is an attempt to navigate a complex global landscape while meeting the needs of its own population. The impact of this decision is already being felt. Demand for these vehicles is strong and shipments are on the way. As they arrive, they will provide a real-world test of how consumers respond. And once that happens, the conversation will change. Because it is one thing to debate policy and strategy. It is another to see the results in everyday life. The electric vehicle market is entering a new phase, one defined by competition, innovation, and shifting expectations. What happens next will shape not just the industry, but the broader transition to a more sustainable future. And one thing is certain, once consumers experience what is possible at a lower price point, it will be very difficult to turn back.